Hi, everybody. Glad to be chatting. Maddie, really exciting to hear all the developments on your side. But I'd like to quickly welcome Lee Jin. Lee, if you could wave so people can see you. So Lee Jin is a friend of mine and also the founder and managing partner at Atelier, a new VC firm investing in the creator economy and the future of work. So she's an investor in startups that lower the barriers to creativity and income, including Substack, Patreon, Descript, and Stir. And then previously, she was a consumer partner for 4 years at Andreessen Horowitz. She's also a creator herself, has her own Substack newsletter, a podcast, and a TikTok. And then before investing, she was a product manager at Shopkick, which was a Kleiner Perkins backed startup in the loyalty and reward space that was acquired by SK Telecom in 2014 for 250 million. Just to give everybody on the call a sense of how widely and highly regarded Lee is, there are a few quotes about Lee. She's a passion economy pioneer, an authoritative voice in the space, essential reading for anyone building a community in the next 10 years, the best thinker out there in the future of being a creator on the internet, and the queen maker of passion economy startups. So we are so lucky to have Lee on this call and sharing some insights about the creator economy with us. So Lee, do you want to quickly introduce yourself and say hi to the community, the Rally community?
Hey guys, glad to be here. By the way, I have a request to make. If people want to turn on their cameras, I much prefer that versus looking at boxes. Thank you guys. Yeah, I think your introduction really covered it all. Hi Matt, I see Matt Alston and a few other friends here. Hi Kevin. Hi Kieran. Yeah, really great to be here. Thanks for having me. Oh, and Melissa. Hi. The whole crew's here. Basically everyone already knows me and already knows everything I'm gonna say. So
Perfect.
they can answer my questions for me.
Great, we can do this, a community around. Awesome. Well, just to kick things off, you've spent years studying creators and are a notable creator yourself. I just wanted to ask, what was your initial attraction to being a creator and then figuring out how to monetize your work in your community?
Yeah, I would say I've been a creator for my whole life. Actually, that's not exactly correct. I've been a creator since the age of 5 is probably when I would say it started. That was when my mom put me into my first art class. We were living in Beijing at the time. Initially, she put me into a dance class. I was terrible at it. I still can't tell the difference between left and right. And so after a few classes, the dance teacher told me that, or told my mom that I was really hopeless and would probably never be really good at dance. And conveniently across the hallway from that dance class, there was an art class. And so she decided to put me in that instead, and turned out to be something that I loved doing and was quite good at. And so between 5 and 18, I studied art really intensively, um, oil painting, sculpture, like watercolor, sketching. For that entire time, almost went to art school, and then grew up very online, had more online friends than offline friends, mostly who I met through the Neopets forum. And yeah, have just always been a creator on the internet and also in the physical world. And when I was growing up, it was very much considered to be all of those hobbies were considered to be wastes of time and things that were you were supposed to give up the moment you became an adult. And now they're all kind of the basis of a lot of creator careers, which is absolutely amazing to see. So I'm on a mission to basically enable the next generation of kids to never have to choose between doing what they love versus pursuing a financially stable life. And hopefully some of the companies that I back will make it easier for people to monetize their creative skills.
That's awesome. You coined the term passion economy, and those on the call, I realize almost everybody on this call may be familiar with that term, but could you share a little bit about what you mean when you talk about the passion economy, and then also the opportunity that it offers for creators to monetize their craft?
Yeah, I think everyone on here probably knows the definition because I've seen it in a board deck for Raleigh before that,
Right.
that someone from Andreessen showed me. Um, so I know you guys all know like the surface level definition. I would just highlight that um, a couple of things. One, when I first wrote that piece about the passion economy and the future of work, I didn't necessarily have content creators in mind when I wrote the piece. I was really thinking about the evolution of marketplace businesses and how marketplaces were moving from this model that kind of slotted people into these very like commoditized modular gigs um, into and evolving to more managed marketplaces or marketplaces that enabled people to offer more complex nuanced services that were really not templatized. And I thought that that shift in marketplace paradigms would enable many more people to do all sorts of different work mediated by software that couldn't be captured by these gig marketplaces. So that was really what I had in mind. And so a lot of the examples that I talked about in that piece were marketplace examples, things that matched consumers who were looking for some type of service from a very specialized type of provider with the provider of that service. And on that provider side, enabling them to have much more flexibility in deciding the types of work that they wanted to do. After I published the piece, there was like just this such a huge outpouring of support for it, and especially around the creator angle, because that was a type of work that was uniquely enabled by digital platforms and fit a lot of the criteria that I outlined. So it was just really interesting how there was this wave around content creators online, but that wasn't all that I was describing. And I would actually say that the passion economy is broader than just the creator economy in that way. Secondly, I've had a lot of criticism about the term passion economy, and a lot of people ask me or push back on the word passion, either from the perspective of like after you start monetizing something, it actually erodes your passion towards that thing. Or a lot of people do these types of work just to make ends meet and they're not actually passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I would I would say that I think in America or in the English language, we tend to conflate the notion of passion with happiness, but I would actually uncouple the two ideas. The root of the word passion is this Latin word that actually means suffering. And so I think when we do work that we're truly passionate about, there is an element of suffering, but it's doing it in spite of that suffering and knowing that the suffering is going to be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is common among all types of creative work and truly passionate people. And so passion economy doesn't mean that every moment that you're engaged in this type of industry, you're like literally so happy. I don't think that really exists in any type of fulfilling work. But it's doing work with the knowledge that the suffering is going to be worth it. Um, and then with regards to the second critique of, you know, some of the industries that I describe are industries where people are not really passionate about it and are just doing it to make ends meet. I think in order to be really successful at something, I do think passion is a key ingredient. And so a lot of the folks who are just doing things to make ends meet are probably not going to be the most successful ones out there. Um, a common example that people will bring up to me is like, you know, a lot of YouTubers are getting into it just because there's money in YouTube now. And I would push back against that and say that I think the most successful content creators are doing it for reasons beyond the financial gains.
Mm-hmm. That's really poignant, and thank you for sharing that definition of passion, because I do think that your point around how people mistake that for just happiness and fun throughout is not reflective of what it means to truly follow your passion. But I think one of the things that's been really exciting over the past, call it 7 to 10 years, and having worked at Patreon for about 4 years, is that now it is viable for an individual to have their life and their career align with their passion, the thing that they really want to strive for and suffer through. I think as you've been evaluating all these different opportunities and platforms, what do you think some of the most exciting opportunities are for creators in order to better engage their audience and also mirror that passion, the direct connection and deep relationship with their community, as well as the monetization piece? Like, how do you balance all three of those at the same time? And what are some of those tools that offer those creators the opportunity to do that in a meaningful way?
Yeah, I think that the discussion around the creator economy right now is a little too focused on creator monetization. And I think a lot of founders are um, thinking about new and innovative ways that creators can monetize, but almost like too focused on the creator side of the equation and at the expense or neglecting the consumer side. Like the creator economy is like the creator side is one half of essentially a marketplace. All of these social media platforms are basically two-sided marketplaces. There's the creator side and there's the consumer side. And creator monetization needs to be in service of what the end consumer actually wants. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the end consumer trying to accomplish? What are their psychological needs? What are they looking for from the content and the creator that they're a fan of? And creator monetization is like a means and end for them to accomplish what they actually want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
that need could be education, it could be a sense of affirmation, it could be feeling a sense of belonging to something, or showing off that they're a fan. But like, I prefer to start with the consumer side and what the consumer is trying to accomplish, rather than just thinking about creator monetization as an end in and of itself in a vacuum. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's the right approach. Like, everything needs to be in service of who the actual buyer is, what the demand side wants. So I would put that out as my overarching framework. And then within the creator economy today, um, yeah, I am looking for like kind of more nuanced approaches to creator monetization as a result of that. Like, what are needs that fans and audience members have that aren't being well addressed today that new creator products could be in service of? And I think a big one, especially at this moment in time, is loneliness, companionship, relationship building. I actually think a lot of NFT sales are relationship building, a hidden form of relationship building where the bidder is paying a really high price in order to build a relationship with that creator. Like, if you're going to pay $69 million for something, the creator probably is going to reach out to you and try to establish a relationship with you and make you feel special and appreciated. And I think we're all really hungry for that, especially in COVID. And so people are spending money to try and feel connected to someone and to feel affirmed. So I'm interested in like what are other products that can help facilitate that sense.
Mm-hmm. Want to dig in on sort of that, the opportunity offered by NFTs and then crypto more broadly. As you're looking at the sort of massive hype that is built around NFTs and also the excitement in the creator industry around the adoption of crypto, how do you see that playing out? What do you see are some of the barriers to folks, evaluating crypto and figuring out how it fits within that fan engagement and really delivering value to their communities? Um, and what would you say if a creator asked you, how should I think about crypto? And how should I think about NFTs, creator coins, etc.? Like, how would you advise a creator around their evaluation of this opportunity?
Um, well, I would love to hear your guys' answers to this. Honestly, I think you guys are the experts and probably have thought about this much more deeply than I have, to be honest. But I think today, today we're probably just scratching the surface of what is possible with crypto as it relates to creators. I think NFTs are a really powerful way for people to monetize super fans and a way to generate income in a way that has not really been possible before. Like, digital assets just weren't scarce before. And so if someone was paying for a digital product, they were doing it to get access to something or doing it out of altruism. but now you can feel really special and have a very unique digital item. Um, so I think that is a really powerful unlock. But I wonder if like, yeah, NFTs are actually the doorway or the entrance to a deeper experience and a more ongoing relationship that needs more infrastructure and product to support. Um, right now, the focus is really on the transactions and the prices that are being paid, not the ongoing relationship that's formed thereafter. And I think we need more tooling and support and products that facilitate that ongoing relationship between the creator and their audiences. Yeah, I'm interested to see like other forms of creator monetization also moving on chain. Right now it feels like NFTs are the only viable thing to do because the sale prices exceed the transaction costs associated with it.
Right.
But yeah, like other forms of creator monetization that are uniquely enabled by crypto. I don't know exactly what they are, but I would be really interested to see that develop.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about the creator economy, the passion economy, and I think, as Sam said, the revolutionary way in which you described passion, and how it isn't just about happiness, but about the suffering and the striving for what drives you. This was such a fantastic conversation, and we really appreciate you joining our community, and then also handling some of the little bit of friction on the call. So I really appreciate that.
It
It was good to chat
happens.
with you again, Lee.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Brebner, and thank you, Legion. Nice meeting you and hearing from you. That's very insightful. So